Our first entrepreneur speaker, not that the past speaker wasn't an entrepreneur, but the timed portion of what we're going to do is Mack Hendricks with Weight Engine. Mack has been involved with the distributed computing interest since his first 300 bought him back in 1980 something or other. Now, as I do the math, he must have been about 4 years old back in 1980 something. So this is a geek that was like in the cradle. So, Weight Engine, we already talked about knowing what you're good at and what you're bad at. Weight Engine was formed by his failures to succeed in the restaurant business. So the important thing is failures are the best thing that can ever happen. So Mack, tell us something about yourself and business. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. So Weight Engine is about really managing time. The most finite thing that we have. We can't get any more time. It's just impossible. And I learned that a couple of different ways. Weight Engine can be used for a number of different concepts and things, but I want to focus primarily on how Weight Engine can be used in the restaurant context. Okay? So we have 2 different use cases. One being users, right? These are people that are trying to find casual dining restaurants with the least amount of wait time. And then you have restaurants that are trying to recover revenue from guests leaving due to long wait times, which is a big issue. How I kind of came to wander into this business and figuring out that I want to create this thing called Weight Engine was that I was in the restaurant business. I've been in, you can see on the actual slide, I've been in part technology for a long time. I mean, I know I don't look that well, but I'm actually 37. I've worked with a number of different companies as a developer up to being a systems engineer, right? So 2 years prior, about 3 years ago now, a friend of mine said, hey, let's start a restaurant. So went into the restaurant business. I learned the most about any type of business through this whole thing. I think I got an honorary MBA going through the restaurant business. But the restaurant business has some key problems, and I figured it out. So to have a successful restaurant, you need a good location. That's almost more important than food. Good food. And then the third thing, you need to have good service. The service can be broken down into a number of different elements. Probably the big thing that hits restaurants around service is around timing. Timing can mean a number of different factors, but one of the big problems that restaurants have is that everybody gets hungry around the same time. And the thing is that that's a good thing or a bad thing, right? Because if everybody didn't get hungry around the same time, there wouldn't be all these restaurants out here, there wouldn't be a lot of opportunity out there. All right, but that becomes an issue. The result of everybody being home at the same time, you have a lot of restaurants that are losing up to $1 million a week in revenue, just from people just walking away. These are the major chains. I'm talking about the PF Chains of the world, the Texas Roadhouses of the world, Red Lobster, you pick it. They're all losing $1 million a week. So, and you multiply that by the number of restaurants that they have in the U.S., that's a huge number. There's like 500,000 restaurants in the U.S., according to these numbers back in 2010. So a solution to this whole problem. So what I kind of came up with was these 3 components that will help solve this problem. One is that we need an easy way for users to be able to get wait time information. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Marketing aspect. Restaurants need to be able to communicate with these customers quickly and efficiently. And then analytics. Restaurants need to know how other restaurants in their geographic location and also other restaurants that are similar to them are doing around wait time. And see how they measure up. Maybe there need to be some changes done. So this is actually a live site. You can go to weightengine.com today. We launched 2 weeks ago. So in New York and Chicago. So if you look at the wait time report, it's very simple. You enter in a place you want to search, a restaurant that you're interested in. You can enter in an actual chain, or you can enter in a city, and it'll come back with a list of restaurants. You can click the ones that you want to get the wait time information for. You enter your email address. Our system automatically goes out and calls each one of those restaurants, automatically. All right, so in the back end, catch me after I'll tell you about the details of that. So restaurants actually, enter in their wait time numerically, and what happens is the people get actually emails on the wait time of that particular restaurant. Now, there's one of the there's two key issues here. 1 minute. So key issue here with marketing is that you want to have the ability for these restaurants to be able to deliver a coupon if their wait time is too high, right? So that's another core aspect of it. Then analytics is the last component here, is be able to allow these restaurants to look at how they're doing. Our current state, like I said, went live, traveled to New York last week, sat in some restaurants, ran the app, saw them answer the phone, so I was able to kind of monitor and observe what's going on. What's next for us? iPhone application, Android will be released if the demand is out there. Public API will be released late this week, late next, no, not this week, 2 weeks from now. And we're going to finish building out the analytics billboard or dashboard. Our ask, really just tell your friends and family that we're funded right now, at least enough to get the things out we need to do. Visit us at waitengine.com. Thank you. I'm a little sick, so whatever. So I'm like trying to keep back the snot.
Great. Let's go ahead and ask some questions.
Why not launch in Detroit and in Michigan?
You know, that's a good question. So I thought with that myself, but the problem is that when we start running our beta test on this whole thing, restaurants they'll pick up the phone, they'll hang up on us. Because they're not used to a concierge. It's basically what it says. This is the wait engine concierge. There's a guest that wants to visit your restaurant and your wait time. In New York and Chicago, they're used to that. They're used to having concierge call for them. So we just get mad response there. We get at least 50% return on any of the restaurants that we actually call. Here we get like 10%. So that to me was an indicator that we can't launch it. Are you calling
You got it.
Even at 50% response rate, I imagine that's too low if you're talking about bigger scale. How do you address that? What's the incentive for restaurants? Why would I want to share my secrets with all the other restaurants, in terms of how long my wait times are and things like that?
Well, it's aggregated, so you won't necessarily, they won't necessarily know, this particular restaurant had this wait time. We actually aggregate all the results, so it's not their particular wait time. And I think the key thing here is that I believe that these restaurants can learn from one another. I mean, because there's enough money out there for everybody. I mean, they're losing enough money that they can actually figure out how to share the pot of money out there. I think you're next.
How much are you charging the restaurant owners?
Service. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing. So we actually have to land our restaurant, one restaurant on right now. So I'm kind of like a first speaker. I'm like anything they want to actually give us right now, we'll take. We'll probably take it for free, right? So we haven't really came up with a model. People keep asking us. We just keep saying, we'll negotiate. So we'll figure it out once we land a restaurant chain. I'm going after restaurant chain. I'm not going by individual restaurants because individual restaurants is like clawing teeth and all that stuff. I want to go with the chains and actually make this thing work. Yes, I'll take it.
So PF chains is like there's always a way, right? You go there. So if you got the thing get a coupon for next time, can you make it so that the coupon's only valid between the hours of 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. So or 5 p.m. So they're not busy hours. These restaurants are you said everyone comes at the same time. So these restaurants are really slow. They can start building up there and they're not busy hours.
Actually, yeah, that's exactly what the goal of the coupon is. I probably didn't get it, that message didn't come through. It's basically, the coupon is really the goal is to even out the revenue dips that restaurants have. So yeah, absolutely. That's the whole goal of the whole coupon.
That's great.
I don't know who to take. Take a later.
Will you sell advertising to the restaurants on the site? Is that one of the goals?
Yeah, so that is the whole, the coupon is basically, they're actually, we're selling advertising. That is the advertising we're selling. So they can actually, what a restaurant can do is actually say, hey, you want to sign up? What that means is that they can actually put a coupon and specify if the wait time is a certain number. They can actually show this coupon to those particular people that are interested in seeing the restaurant. Really, all the restaurants, by definition, they're already part of our network. We're calling them. We're just acting like a regular customer would, right? So we know it's nothing that restaurants have to do in order for them to start reporting their wait time. These got to answer the phone and you can actually report your wait time. Yes. How long I plan to scale? How long? Repeat the question. How far do I plan to scale it? When you mean how far? You mean geographical wise or
functionality wise? What
Yeah. So the same features we have here, but just make it mobile. Because what we got the feedback is, and I already knew this, but to be honest with you, we had to build up our API first in order for us to actually start building out the mobile part. So once we built the API up, now we're private and public. So now we can start building the iPhone app. We still going to have the same functionality, but just make it real mobile, real easy to use. Yes.
In regards to help and manpower, what are you looking at? Are you looking for help? Are you looking for IT programs? Are you looking for marketing people?
No, so this actual product and brand actually sits in another company I own. And basically I'm taking the guys that are on the bench and I'm putting them to work building this project. If it becomes successful, I'm going to pull them off of that project and then put them onto this project full time. So that's how I'm kind of positioning it currently.
Okay, so my other question would be marketing. How you plan to, are you doing inbound marketing?
The question was, how are you thinking about marketing?
Yeah, so right now, when we launched, when I say we launched, we actually bought Google Ads, right, AdWords, and we just started putting them, we bought all the keywords, right, sushi in New York, pick it, we bought it, and we're just spending money doing it that way. I'll be around after if you have more questions for me. I'll sit you back.
Yes, you are.
Thank you for putting me.
Yeah, I had to.
Sorry.
While we're getting set up here, Suzanne Klein will be our next person. I asked Susan for something that's unique about her background. I thought I was bad. She sleeps about 23 hours per week. Per week. So it's like, good grief. And then something that's a little bit different about her business. She came close to losing 5,000 documents, having them permanently disappear at the 11th and a half hour of launching the business. So any of you that have ever lost one document, that's enough of a heart attack. I couldn't imagine losing 5,000 or coming close to this.
Hello everyone, my name is Suzanne Klein. Hi. And I'll go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to be very informal. I normally, when I was looking for investors, we had PowerPoint. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, great. Okay, so my ask today is just that you hear about Right Steps, and if you know any educators, elementary educators, principals, teachers, that you help us spread the word. Also, if you have any suggestions or ideas, always open to that. And also, thank you. Not that we're, saying no to any money that comes our way, but really what it was is a decision of how do I do general management of a company and be on the road presenting and do everything and still try to put together an investment package. So what we decided to do is a little bit different. So let me just share with you, is this going to bother anyone if it's scrolling while I'm talking? Okay. So I started out, is anyone, first of all, concerned about our children's education? Okay, right? In particular, writing. I was a student who did not like school at all, period. End of story. It wasn't until I got to Eastern Michigan, I'm from Ann Arbor University, and I got into my teaching classes, and I just fell in love with the profession. And that wasn't until I then got my master's and pursued teaching, and I really was loving it. Well, I was having a lot of success with my own elementary students, K-5, and in terms of writing, and I tried everything, you name it. And so I went one day and I presented, and I loved that as well. And so what happened was, out of my success, I started going in classrooms and I started modeling these lessons. And teachers kept saying, you've got to package them, you've got to put it together before someone steals it. Being a teacher, I didn't know the business world whatsoever, but I jumped as if the net would appear. And in 2007, I founded Right Steps. Right Steps is in its second stage of startup. It started in 2007 with a $50,000 gift from family. I paid it back in a year. I made a 6% market penetration in Michigan with my efforts alone. That's why I don't sleep, right? I was everywhere at once and just doing lots of sales calls. And so now we reinvented ourselves. We knew we had to because we were based around the Michigan standards. Well, what happened was in 2010, these new national standards came out. If you didn't know this, you should definitely know this. There's national standards that now all students will be taught the same thing. First graders in Florida, first graders in Michigan, same thing. Okay, so we knew we had to reinvent. And so we figured it out in November 10, they were going to stick, these national common core state standards. And so we had a decision to make. And we knew the material was too great to just let it go. And so around April or May, basically from November 10 to about April or May, I was in a crash course business. Crash course of just reading 10 business books in a matter of 3 months, not even. I did Spark Entrepreneur Boot Camp, and I won, and that was very exciting against biotech companies, medical device, and so that was definitely a confidence builder. Also, third place finalist in TechTown, the largest Midwest entrepreneurship business plan competition. And so I had a lot of confidence to just start us. I'm pretty excited to share with you what we did in less than 4 or 5 months, because there is a sense of urgency for us. We want to be known as the Common Core. Okay, it's not showing on the screen, but I'll just do it from here. We want to be known as the Common Core writing program. We're up against giants. We're up against Scholastic, Pearson, all the big publishers, billion-dollar companies. Oh, okay. So I'm going to go back to it, or didn't? Okay. So let me just share with you in very quickly what we launched in 4 months. We launched a brand new website, which has a ton of bells and whistles. I'm used to my Mac here. All of these are clickable and sticky notes. We offer teachers 30-day trials, so please, let them know. We do 15-day trials as well, but there's just so much on this. We also changed 60% of our curriculum needed to be revamped. What makes us special and different is that we have daily lesson plans, which no one else has, with minute-by-minute suggestions. We also have video lessons, classroom demonstration lessons, again, no one else has. And we have a first-of-its-kind e-learning portal. So not only did 60% of the existing curriculum have to change, which was a tremendous amount of work in the time that we did, the manuals, the teacher manuals are, the largest one is 830 pages. I wrote all the manuals when I first started, which was close to 3,000 pages. Now we're up to like 8,000 pages. So just really quickly, the eWrite Steps portal is the first of its kind clickable calendar. And this is where, do you really want me to stop here?
Take 1 more minute.
Okay. This is where teachers can log on. They don't have to take home the binders. It's all done by basically at home, the tip of their mouse. And so this is example of kindergarten, and I'll just show you a unit. And so they would click on their day. Kindergarten is not as hefty. Oh my goodness. I have, once you go Mac, you never go back. And so it's PC a little clumsy for me. But this is an example of the daily lesson plans that they can look at, and then there's a video that they can click and watch. And so it's, I'm extremely proud of what we've accomplished working with all independent contractors, basically two full-time employees, myself, and one other. And so it was a mountain that we tackled, and it just proves when you set your mind to do anything, you can do it. So
Great, thank you. Let's go into 5 minutes for Q&A.
yes.
So is this, your business model is a subscription service or how?
Right. So principals and curriculum directors purchase, and it is, I'll show you, actually our model is one that is, we're thinking going to change because there's a lot of professional development money, and there's going to be even more coming. So you can see right here, there's 3 different options Okay, so there's the web-based subscription, which they save, and then there's a print kit, and then there's the overheads. And so that is how it is now. How we're thinking about remodeling this is because what happens is if they don't order the coaching that doesn't come with its additional professional development, then what happens a lot of times is the kits sit on the shelf. Well, if they sit on the shelf, then they're not going to spread the word, and that obviously hurts us. And so we're going to repackage it as we're going to do virtual coaching. Right now we do virtual awareness sessions, which are sales meetings. And we're going to do virtual coaching. And so we could be coaching first grade teacher in Iowa, first grade teacher in Colorado, first grade teacher in Texas, all at one time, and provide like a couple hours of coaching. And by the way, you get a kit to go with it. So that's kind of how it is.
Do you have a consumer model or a parent child model or home use?
Parent model, consumer model was the question.
Okay, so it wasn't until I was asked to be on Lifetime Television Parent Teacher Corner, they interviewed me about the Common Core Standards for Writing, that we thought, oh my gosh, we could really develop this for homeschool. So there's absolutely that opportunity to expand it. Right now, we're just trying to get out to the nation, and on such a small budget that we have, that in itself is quite an undertaking. But that is definitely so many possibilities.
Hey, I know that the budget you have now, in the long term, have you thought about partnering up with like Kumar or have you started a franchise like that?
Right. So I met with my mentor, and that was one of the questions: was do we really pursue investors or AIs, or do we? This is a huge market too, by the way. I mean, 6% of the market is 23 million. So this is not a small market here. What he had recommended is that we look for strategic partners, so a reading company that wants a writing company, a math company, and so we're just starting. Pearson is the largest publisher, and an email was sent with our website. And so, hoping that goes somewhere, but also pursuing some other people as well. Yeah. We have national sales, so that's exciting.
Going to that point, this initial sales, how did you do it first time?
Right, so conferences are a big revenue source for us. So when I go out and speak, usually there's a lot of interest. Manning a booth as well is not as good, but we have 2,300 Facebook fans right now. And so it's just really getting the word to spread and stick, and 30-day trial, and just kind of trying a lot of different things.
Do you have any school districts?
Oh, yeah.
Question is, do you have any school districts?
Yes, we have 2,000 current teachers using Right Steps. And so,
complete school districts.
yes, Saginaw just purchased.
Okay.
That was our largest. And today, unfortunately, our largest would have been our largest. I just found out a couple hours ago we lost the sale. So that was a real bummer. And so, that's you win some, you lose some kind of thing. So yeah, we do. And the fact that there was a 6% market penetration made in Michigan alone just shows that there's definitely a need for this and a market for this.
Go ahead.
What's to stop a school principal from purchasing one of your subscription and then just let all the teachers?
Right. So, and that is one of the things our pricing model before on our old website was that it really discouraged them to buy one, because one was like $8.95, 6 or more dropped down to $4.95. And so that worked. We toyed with that idea. After a year, their subscription shuts off automatically, but there is no way to stop a teacher from printing everything out and then never buying. But what we do, where our hook is that we update the web-based with updates and new videos and things like that. And so that's kind of the way to hopefully get them to read it.
Okay. You have a question?
Yeah. So do you track any of the progress and keep track of that for the teachers in the districts too?
We don't. We talked about doing a tracking where it shows how often the teacher logs out to the principal for accountability. We just aren't quite there yet. But we do have rubrics at the end of each unit that they can see where the progress is going.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you very much. Maurice? We only have 3 tonight, so Maurice will be the last, and then whoever is left, we'll stand on the back and do some more Q&A. While we are switching screens, Maurice is a classmate of Todd and I, who run both Tech Venture and Smart Start programs. So there's something about us TechTown trained folks that kind of works. Robotic Intelligence Software was founded in 2008 to create intelligent products that utilize both robotics and artificial intelligence technologies. But they don't call me real surprised. I guess I must also be artificial intelligence. So hopefully you can fix me also. Okay, I think we're ready here, so. Okay, oh, we go.
Okay, everyone, yes, I'm Maurice Tedder, founder of Robotic Intelligence Software, and I want to introduce you to the world of online robot gaming. All right, currently if you play online games, they engage with computer graphics and simulation. So my value proposition is I'm providing an alternative to computer graphics and simulation in traditional or online social games. And my solution is to allow players to remotely control robot toys over the internet and actually interact in gameplay with other users. This is kind of a timeline of the development. We started off way back in the 60s with rock and socket robots. We actually manipulated a real toy, and we migrated to manipulating computer graphics on Pac-Man, and then we migrated to online communities where people all over the world can join in a central game. So I'm combining all of those in my game concept. So you're going to play real-time objects, and you can have an online community and multiple players. All right, and these numbers show why I'm attracted to this market. If you're familiar with Facebook games, there's 290 million players, and the number I'm using in my calculations, many of these players, 265 million, spend 210 minutes per month playing games. So if you monetize that, you can get an idea of what the market size is. This also gives you an idea of what the competition is doing. This is their daily average users. It goes all the way from 2 million to all the way up to 14 million. So that's a lot of people playing games. All right, so this gives you an idea what this is my current prototype. This is your typical Facebook app. When you log on Facebook and you're playing a game. And this is the user interface for my game, so allow me to explain it. There's 2 major features. There's 2 video streams. One of the playing field where you're playing everyone else's robots. And also there's a camera mounted robot, or a camera mounted on each robot, so you can actually see where your robot's going. You can select which one you want, control it with the virtual joystick. And as you can see here, the current concept for getting scores is there's an RFID sensor, and when your robot comes into proximity to that, it updates your score. So that's the technology, but it can be integrated in any kind of game theme that you come up with. And to monetize it, you can add credits if you want to buy additional minutes to play the game, because you can't possibly get the maximum score in the free time that I give you. And also, you can invite our friends also. These are the 4 robot types. I have a spider robot, which has 6 legs, so not really a spider, but. And then there's a humanoid, which is 2 legs. Then you have tank treads and wheels. So you can have all of one type, or right now I have a combination of all of these in the playing field. So my current business model, there's different options I'm considering. The first one is users play the game for free for 2 minutes, but maybe they don't have the skills yet, so they want more time. Let's say they want to play for 5 minutes. So they can use their Facebook credits and buy additional minutes, so it's like 10 cents a minute. So I'm actually monetizing the time. And the other strategy that I'm thinking more seriously about is branded gaming for company Facebook pages. And in that case, I'll charge for custom development, tech support, and the hosting environment. For example, I can design a game theme based on the latest blockbuster movie or TV show. Or let's say you're a famous car maker, you want people maybe to test drive the latest model of your car, a robot version, and then whatever points they get, that brings them to the dealership and they can redeem their points at the dealership, and that'll get them in. The other one is free play and maybe use banner advertising. And this one, actually this ties into the restaurant idea, because originally when I did this was a game for people waiting in line for restaurants to keep them from walking away. So I have also a pay-per-play arcade style version where you just put your money in, and for bars and restaurants to keep people from walking away or something to do while they're waiting. This is still an area I have to do more work on. But my go-to-market strategy, my go-to-market strategy. So targeted advertising, Facebook provides methods for doing that. A little bit about me. I have 9 years experience developing autonomous robotic systems. And the future positions, I'll need someone to help with business development and possibly a game designer. This just shows you how my revenue is calculated. One robot is available 24/7. So that amounts to over 40,000 minutes a month. So if I monetize those minutes, that's where the revenue is generated. So if I double the amount of robots, I double the revenue I can generate with that. Or if I increase the cost of each minute, kind of how the cell phone companies do now. And the chart doesn't show up, but that's why I have a graph, a table. You can see, based on these projections, with 16 robots in a year, you can get that much, all the way up to $2 million in year 4, which is not a lot for investors on a return, so that's why I'm doing bootstrapping and customer financing. So this basically tells you the cost of goods are kind of constant each year, because you do 16 robots, then the next year you do another 16 robots, so you're reusing assets from the previous year. So now I have 32 revenue generating robots, and my cost of goods is still the same.
Let's go ahead and stop there.
Oh, yeah, stop.
And then we'll let some people ask some questions, and if we want to come back to that, then we can. So let's go ahead with 5 minutes of questions.
Where do you keep your robots at?
Currently, it's in the basement of my house, so I have the web server stuff. And that's kind of a problem for me now because my bandwidth isn't enough to support all this video streaming. So I just looked at a location like not far from my house where I'm going to move everything else into. And also, I'll be able to keep things going 24/7. Because right now, since the cameras interfere with the Wi-Fi at home, when I get home, I try to shut things down. So,
how often do your robots break?
That I haven't tested it yet because I still need people. My ask is actually that people go to this web link and test out the robots. Currently, it's like between 10 and 6 that I have it going typically, but it's definitely going to need a technician manning it when I have the full production version going. So, kind of like you have a bowling alley, there's a machine to automatically pick up the pin, but eventually that's when somebody will get like black or something like that. So, I'd like to have a robot to do that, but take more investment.
So if this takes off and everybody really likes it, and you get like a 10% market penetration, the way I see it, that's still 100,000 people that would want to do it like every hour of every day.
Right. Well, that's this is constrained by the physical architecture of the system. Now, the game servers, I'm using the same game like engines or game servers that the online gamers use, so it can handle that load. But as far as that, I have to kind of scale.
Do you have like a queue or something for people to wait in?
Oh, you're talking about the game.
Oh, yeah. How do you manage people waiting for robots?
Oh, yes. Actually, that's part of the design also. The game, since I'm using the same game engine, it has functionality for having a queue. And then while people are waiting, I could probably have a little advertisement playing on the screen or something like that. But but there is a queue where you wait, say your number is so-and-so, to wait. And that kind of encourages people to actually buy minutes, because they know somebody else is going to be, 20 people are behind them, they're going to have to wait like a while before they can play it. So why not just buy all your minutes, 10 minutes, if you want to play 10 minutes now, and like lock in your space. So it's kind of like a built-in, like, I don't know how you say it, like a built-in way to generate demand.
Yeah, so you might have these courses for these robots, basically?
Yes. Typically, I guess in games, they peak around 6 months. But I'm thinking every quarter, I'll have to come up with a different game or different theme. So that's why I probably might need a game designer, because I mean, I can implement the thing, but it's actually not as, game design isn't as simple as it sounds. You just make something that you have to know what it is people motivates them. There's a whole like art to it, science to it, which isn't my core expertise. So.
It seems to me one reason we went from rock and sock and block, rock and sock and what is it?
Rock and sock and robots, yeah.
Robots to World of Warcraft was your functionality was limited to like right jab, left jab, and in World of Warcraft you can fly and run and do all this stuff. And what makes you think people want to go back to using, logging on Facebook to use a robot that can do maybe 2, 3 functions versus like being in a game where they can do a million things, they can add on to robots, they can all sorts of things.
Right. Well, that's where the different themed game rooms will come in. They could be a different one, or also tie into something that's current and relevant. But another feature is that since this is a prototype, it doesn't have all those, but additional functionality will be coming later. If you want more actions or things for your robot, these are kind of versatile. These are very versatile. So you can decide to do different things, but maybe you pay extra if you want an additional functionality, like a digital like body kick or something like that. So you can do the same thing with these. Because these are a little more versatile because the robots can be programmed to do different things. So it's just a matter of what you program. But I will admit it is going to be like a niche market. It's not going to be something everybody in the world is going to want, like I originally thought. But yeah, it's going to be a niche market.
What about you making it more of an educational type of an app? Have you thought of that kind of using the app more of an educational?
Yes, I thought of a lot of different things. But the main thing I was doing now is just get the product sort of with the technology showing like these are the technologies I demonstrate these. And using those tools, you can come up with any type of application that you want. So the possibilities are endless. It's just whoever's going to pay me the money for this new functionality, that's probably the one I'll go with. So that's why I've frozen development, and it's like any new functionality is only going to occur if somebody pays me or I can make a sale in one of these other business models.
The question that always arises is this a product or is this a company? So you've got this technology that you're excited by.
Right.
Are there other people that value it, that might value it the same way? The question was asked, when you can fly, do you want to go back to only being able to roll just so far? So how do you know that there's really market interest by others in what you're interested in?
Well, yeah, that's still a kind of a weak point in my business plan. I'm still trying to find out who my customers actually are. Because I found out, like, if you know that, then I can know where to take my development further. So it may, I know it's going to amount to something, but it may not be what I initially planned. It may go off in a totally different direction that I didn't even think of. But I can still leverage what I've already developed for this new concept.
Okay, well, great. Maurice, thank you very much. We will stand around and chat some afterwards.
Announcements?
Thank you very much for coming out.
Events?
Before we break, break yet. We do always have our announcements. And Tom's going to give the first and most important one about next week.
Yeah, I just want to let everyone know that next Thursday there's an event called Deep Movement. It's actually
the whole purpose, the goal of this is to kind of collaborate and kind of celebrate the meetups that are going on in the Southeast area in Detroit region. This includes, DNewTech, which is presenting, SumFX, which is a Southeast region special effects company group.